You check your phone and there are no messages. Not because you forgot to charge it, not because something's wrong with the notifications, just nothing. And you realize you can't remember the last time someone reached out first. You see people planning group dinners, weekend trips, birthday parties where 20 people show up, and you wonder what that feels like. Not with envy exactly, more like curiosity. Like watching a language you used to speak but forgot somewhere along the way. You tell yourself you prefer it this way, that you're just selective, that quality matters more than quantity. And maybe that's true. But late at night, when the house is quiet and the world feels too big, you wonder if something's wrong with you. If everyone else got a manual, you missed. Here's what's actually happening in your brain. First, let me say this clearly. You are not broken. You are not defective. You are not failing at being human. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's protecting you. It's regulating your nervous system. It's making choices based on patterns it learned a long time ago, in rooms and moments you may not even remember anymore. What looks like isolation is often conservation. What feels like loneliness is sometimes clarity. Your brain knows something about what you need, even if the world keeps telling you you're doing it wrong. Let's start with the thing nobody talks about. For some people, friendship isn't energizing. It's expensive, not financially. Neurologically, every conversation is a calculation. Every social interaction requires a level of performance that drains the battery faster than it recharges. You're not antisocial. You're not cold. You're overstimulated. Your nervous system treats social environments the way someone else's might treat a crowded subway at rush hour. Too much input. Too many variables. Too much unpredictability. So you pull back. Not because you don't care about people, but because your brain is trying to survive the noise. You say no to plans, and people stop inviting you. You take too long to text back, and the thread goes cold. And eventually, the gaps get wider. Not because you wanted loneliness, but because your system needed quiet. Think about it like this. Some people can go to a party, talk to 12 people, and leave feeling alive. You go to the same party, talk to 3 people, and need 2 days to recover. It's not a moral difference. It's a regulatory one. Your brain is spending energy differently, processing social cues, managing eye contact, tracking conversational rhythm, reading subtext, adjusting tone. All of that happens in the background for some people. For you, it's foreground. It's manual, and it's exhausting. Here's the part people miss. This didn't start because you're difficult. It started because at some point, connection felt unsafe. Maybe you grew up in a home where relationships were conditional, where love came with rules, where you learned that people leave, or disappoint, or need too much, or give too little. Maybe you were the kid who got excluded, the one who tried too hard and got laughed at, the one who shared something real and had it used against you later. Your brain took notes. It learned that distance is safer than disappointment, that solitude is more predictable than betrayal, and it built walls, not to keep people out forever, just long enough to stop the bleeding. But here's where it gets complicated. Those walls don't come down just because you're older now, just because you know, intellectually, that not everyone will hurt you. The brain doesn't care about logic. It cares about patterns. And the pattern it learned is this: people are risky. Closeness costs. So even when you meet someone kind, someone safe, someone who might actually stay, your system hesitates. You don't return the text fast enough. You keep the conversation surface level. You don't make the next plan. And the friendship never deepens. Not because you didn't want it to, but because your brain is still running old code. And this is where it gets interesting. The fewer friends you have, the higher the stakes become for each relationship. When someone has 15 close friends, losing one stings, but the network holds. When you have 2, losing one is catastrophic. So your brain becomes hypervigilant. You start scanning for signs they're pulling away. You replay conversations looking for evidence you said the wrong thing. You withdraw a little, just to test if they'll notice. And sometimes they don't. Not because they don't care, but because they're living their own lives, managing their own noise. But your brain reads it as confirmation. See? I knew it. People leave. And the wall gets a little higher. There's another layer here. Sometimes having few friends isn't about fear. It's about capacity. You're not avoiding people because you're scared. You're avoiding them because you have nothing left to give. You're already managing a job, a family, your own mental health, the constant hum of existing in a world that demands too much. Friendship requires presence. It requires emotional availability. And some days, you're running on empty. So you let things slide. Not because the person doesn't matter, but because you're in survival mode. And your brain knows that one more thing, one more obligation, one more person to show up for, might be the thing that breaks you. Here's what nobody tells you. The way you experience friendship changes as you age. When you're young, friendships form through proximity and repetition. Same school, same dorm, same office. You see people every day and connection builds by default. But as you get older, that scaffolding disappears. You have to build friendship intentionally now. You have to reach out, make plans, follow through. And if your nervous system already finds that hard, it becomes nearly impossible. You're not losing the ability to connect. You're losing the structures that used to do half the work for you, and your brain interprets that as failure, when really it's just a different stage of life that requires a different skill set. But here's the thing your brain is actually trying to do underneath all of this. It's trying to regulate you. It's trying to give you control in a world that often feels chaotic. Solitude is predictable. You know what to expect from an evening alone. You know the rhythm. You know the safety. There's no risk of being misunderstood or judged or abandoned. No chance someone will need more than you can give. It's not that you don't want connection. It's that your system has learned that peace lives in the familiar. And the familiar for you is quiet. It's your own company. It's the absence of performance. That's not emptiness. That's regulation. That's your brain giving you the only kind of safety it knows how to build. Think of it like an old room in a house you grew up in. It's not the most beautiful room. It's not the room you'd choose if you were building from scratch, but it's yours. You know every corner, every creak in the floor, every way the light comes through the window, and when the world gets too loud, too fast, too much, you go back to that room. Not because it's perfect, but because it's home. That's what solitude becomes. A place your nervous system knows how to navigate. And your brain will choose the known over the unknown almost every time, even if the unknown might be better. You're not doing life wrong. You're not missing something essential. You're not broken because your circle is small, or because your phone is quiet, or because you spend Friday nights alone and feel okay about it. Your brain is protecting you the only way it knows how. It learned, somewhere along the way, that fewer people means fewer variables, less risk, more control. And maybe that's not the whole truth. Maybe there's a part of you that wants more, that wonders what it would feel like to be the person people call first, to have a group, to belong somewhere without trying so hard. But even that wanting doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're human. And being human means living in the tension between the safety we've built and the connection we still crave. You're not alone in that, even when you're alone.